if they put Michigan above of Cincinnati, I'll rip my hair out.
Cincinnati beats SMU 48-14, did exactly what they needed to against a good SMU team. Michigan beats a bad Maryland team 59-18. Notre Dame beats a bad Georgia Tech team 55-0. Still impressive to win that big over Power 5 teams, even if they're bad. But I just can't wait to watch the College Football Playoff Committee twist themselves into a pretzel trying to explain how either Notre Dame over Georgia Tech or Michigan over Maryland was so impressive that it would leapfrog Cincinnati into that number 4 spot in the College Football Playoff ranking, and I can sense it about to happen tonight. What do you think about the battle for number 4 now that Oregon lost in the College Football Playoff?
Gosh, I mean, Oregon got smoked, and it felt like that was about to happen, and Utah did a great job. But I was thinking about this, and I talked about it in Carp's Corner, as I was diving in and just looking at it. You look, Michigan had a good win, Notre Dame had a good win, but the committee always talks about like to this point with the data points. And so if you're telling me last week that Cincinnati was better than both Notre Dame and Michigan, and in your opinion, not in my opinion, not in your guys' opinion, in the committee's opinion, then you add another data point where all 3 teams won. They all looked impressive. And Cincinnati played inarguably, I think, the best team of that group and looked really good. And so they had those dominating performances, the quote style points. And if they put Michigan above of Cincinnati, I'll rip my hair out, because I don't know what you want another school to do at that point in time. They're playing the team that is most likely the next best team in their conference. They're ranked in the top 25, and they thoroughly dominated the game from start to finish. And you're going to tell me that Michigan beating Maryland is probably going to finish at or below 500, or Notre Dame beating up on a bad Georgia Tech team, that means more? Like, come on. Like, we're losing our minds.
When you look at Nebraska, they lose 35-28 to Wisconsin. You called it, Bobby, that it was going to be closer than people thought. Nebraska had plenty of chances to win that game. Once again, they lose, I believe now, their 8th loss of the season by single digits in that game. Adrian Martinez could come back for another year. How awkward is that situation now at Nebraska, where you've got Scott Frost encouraging him to go through senior day, but yet he could come back a year from now? Adrian Martinez puts up good numbers, but not wins. He's the all-time leader in offense for a quarterback at Nebraska, and he's the all-time leader in losses for a quarterback in Nebraska. What do you make of that situation and what Scott Frost needs to do to secure his job past next year?
I would tell Adrian Martinez, listen, you've been great for us. If you want to come back, we'll have you back, but I'm not promising you the job. And I thought that was maybe Adrian Martinez, one of the best games he's played as a quarterback. Now, he threw a couple of picks, I believe, and so that was obviously less than ideal. But the pass he threw on 4th down, and I don't know if you guys saw the end of this game, and I'm clicking over to him, going back and forth, and he puts it right on his receiver. Wisconsin is there clearly early. And I know it's clearly early because the defender falls to the ground and puts his head down, doesn't make a celebratory play, doesn't sit there and act like he just won the game. He knows he got there early, and they hold on to the flags. I mean, that doesn't guarantee a win, but it guarantees Nebraska probably gets another play, half the distance to the goal, and they got a shot to maybe win from the 10. But, like you said, Adrian Martinez, he's done all these things, but it's 2nd and 20, it's 3rd and 20. And instead of throwing a check down or running it and getting 5 yards on each of those plays and setting up a manageable 4th down, 4th and 8, 4th and 10, he throws it away. Like he doesn't try to take what the defense is giving him. And that's kind of been the story of him the entire time there. Scott Frost has to win next season. I mean, they've lost every stinking game by single digits, and outside of Ohio State, every one of them by 1 score. I mean, I don't know if that's ever happened in college football.
Well, and Bobby, how much blame should Scott Frost get? Because I watched that sequence just like you. It was maddening to watch him just throw Hail Marys to the end zone for 4 straight plays. I'm thinking, you could run it. You're allowed to get less than 20 and play other downs to get closer to the first down marker. But Scott Frost not using a timeout, essentially running it down where they only had 3 plays left time-wise. I've seen this time and again. It's not just Martinez. Scott Frost has a game management problem also.
And that's another piece of it, like situational football. You got to understand, and people are like, well, you have 30 seconds, you're only going to get 4 plays. True, unless you get a penalty that gives you an automatic first down. Like, let's not worry about running this thing all the way down. And it's perplexing to me. And I don't know if he's coached that into him hard enough, or listen, take the yardage. Don't just chuck it up. Like, take what they're giving you, run it if you have to, throw a check down, whatever it might be. It is perplexing. I always thought Scott Frost was a really smart football coach, but watching games this year, you can only lose so many close games and attribute it to, bad breaks. Sometimes it's you're making bad decisions in those critical moments and doing a bad job playing situational football. And we've seen that from Nebraska all season long. I like Scott Frost. I want him to succeed. I think he's probably best suited for that. But they're going to have to take a long, hard look in the mirror this offseason about what they've been doing, how they run practices, and what they coach, because they should be able to get more out of that roster based upon what we've seen this year.